Pack it light, no map, no plan. Just a torch, a boat, and whatever I can carry in hand over the hill, past the shore. Never know what's waiting there, always looking for more. We're wandering, lukewarm and free, no goals, no rush, just you and me. We're wandering, lukewarm and free, no goals, no rush, just you and me. Pack it light, no map, no plan. Just a torch, a boat, and whatever I can carry in hand over the hill, past the shore. Never know what's waiting there, always looking for more. We're wandering, lukewarm and free, no goals, no rush, just you and me. We're wandering, lukewarm and free, no goals.
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of The Lukewarm Wanderer. Today we don't really have a end state as much as we kind of have a I guess a progression goal. You can see over the last couple of days, about a day and a half, I've kind of implemented a few different mod changes. So I've implemented a larger boat system, so that way we will have the ability to actually build like a legitimate sailboat and be able to move around more than just our rowboat. So we should actually be able to have some form of storage. So I think these next couple of videos are either going to be successfully building that boat, or it's going to be a lot of trial and error to see how that boat's actually going to be built. But just really quick map overview before we jump into anything major today. We're still in the same current area as we have been the last couple episodes. And I think once we get a bigger boat established, we'll be able to move from here, our current sunken boat base, and we'll be able to move up the coastline a little bit more conveniently and efficiently. And I would really like to check this area out up here. It looks like this coastline either dips in through here and then back out, or it looks like there might be two separate, like this might be an island up here and then this is a separate continent. It looks like there is a structure here. I'm not sure what kind of structure. It looks like it's in the savanna biome, and then there's a savanna village over here. I would definitely like to check both of those out at some point in the next couple episodes. So hopefully we can jump right in to seeing if anything that we have boat related is currently in our inventory slash like in our crafting table area. I don't see anything like completely off the top of my head. I did very little research on these boat, or on this this boat mod. I believe it's Shippy Ships. I could be wrong though, but it looks like we might be somewhere. So we now have a sailboat builder, and the one problem with the sailboat builder is we're gonna need a dedicated area, like dry dock, essentially, to put our sailboat builder. So I think what we're going to need to do is we're going to clear out this little area over here of the trees and flatten this little area out, and I think our sailboat builder is going to go right here. Of course, just like with anything that we do, we currently don't have the right tool. Although I believe we either have the equipment or we will have to build the equipment. So it looks like we're going to need another iron ingot in our inventory. I'm going to put we're going to put our armor on, because the last thing we need to do is run into somewhere and not have our armor on. I do have an armor rendering mod. And it looks like I need to set that up. So if anybody has any ideas on the best way to set that up, or if anybody's used anything that helps you, we're running into some technical difficulties. I'll probably end up cutting most of this. But now I can't figure out how to get out of free cam. Or I can get out of free cam. But it looks like I am currently stuck. There we go. Back in first. I was stuck in third person, and then I was in third person rear facing, and that was chaotic. My apologies for that. This is what happens when you're trying to play on a PC for the first time and basically ever. So now that we have our shovel and we have a decent quantity on our axe, we will go over in this general vicinity and clear out the majority of this dirt to bring us down to one level with the water. That way we'll have a decent little area for our dry dock. The best part about today's episode, I believe, is the fact that I actually remembered a notebook today. So I have a physical notebook that I'll be able to take notes on anything that we find, and I can make some small notes on things that we find, or on locations that we go, on coordinates that we need to return to. It'll just add a little bit more depth to this, and a little bit easier when it comes down to map reconnaissance, and kind of a better understanding of the overall environment and like area of operation that we're currently dealing in. So it looks like I'll take probably one more layer off of this, or one more little section, and I'm going to try to clean this up and make it look as natural as possible. It looks like our inventory is full again, but that is a-okay, because we're going to have to use some of this dirt, because I don't like the fact that we've got this little area here. And so I think we're going to need to come down here and kind of reshore some of this so we have a little bit better of a beach. It's not going to be a perfect beach because it's going to be mostly dirt. We'll have to go back in, and I would like to put some form of retaining wall underneath the water line, and probably up to the water line here in the future. We'll come all the way over here and give ourselves a couple extra blocks. We're going to square this off, and I know we just made this look kind of natural, and then we're going to make this look like a big square. But I think that's going to be okay for what we're doing for right now. We can always add some details in the future. I think, let's see if this is... Okay, so I have to choose a log to start building. We're going to pick this up though, and I want to bring this a little bit closer. We'll come over here, and we've got a lot of this oak that we just cut down, so we'll choose a log, and look at that. I don't really know what's next. I have not gotten this far in this mod yet. This is still pretty cool though. But I'll pick up this leaf litter. We'll drop our leaf litter. We've got a lot of leaf litter now. Drop our leaf litter and more of our saplings. Moss blocks, I'm not 100% sure where a moss block should go right now. We'll put them in here for the time being. We're actually going to pull them out of there. We'll put them over here, and we'll put the moss carpet as well in this particular chest. That way we have all of our wooden resources in this area. And while I am thinking about it, though, as a big thank you, sorry, I just purchased a new keyboard and I'm still trying to get used to a smaller keyboard. I went from a 104 key down to a 68 key. And sometimes I struggle typing in it with it still. As of July, 19 subscribers. So this little plaque is a huge thank you to you, all of you guys out there that have spent your time and decided to actually hit the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot. And it's super awesome that, you know, I've gone from 0 subscribers and 0 views to a couple hundred views and over a dozen subscribers in a few days. And basically a week. It really does mean a lot. And because of that, we're going to continue this series and just see what happens to unfold. Although I got distracted again. I need to put all this wood in this chest, and then we probably need a bed down for the night. I think we're going to go one more video with a nameless cat. We'll see if we can get a couple more names. I do like all the suggestions that were thrown out there, though. We'll definitely have to see what happens in the future and see if we can come and see what other names are out there. But whoever suggested bread as the name, I like bread. I also like ginger. Those are two pretty good ones. And the tip to having cats to let creepers kind of avoid your area. That's awesome as well. I did add another mod as well that allows for natural erosion of our paths. So we're going to run back and forth for a minute. This might be kind of boring, but I want to see what this is going to look like in real time with you guys. Since we know that our dry dock is over in this area. This is interesting. It's going to add a bunch of leaf litter, it looks like. I wonder if eventually it'll turn into something else. Maybe if I jump? I don't think jumping is really helping. But that's definitely cool. We'll let this continue to erode. I'll have to do some shippy ship research and see where we need to go next. I'm going to make a note of that really fast. Shippy ship order of operations for boat building. It's the best part about having a notepad. Okay. Let's recalculate our noggins. And while we are recalculating our noggins, okay, this is what we'll do. We know that we're going to need more wood because boats involve wood. I don't know how much wood we're going to need yet, but we do have a significant amount of saplings. So let's add to our tree farm. Our little tree grove, wooded acres, whatever we want to call them. Eventually I would like a dark oak boat. So we will build a dark oak sapling grove over here. I don't know if this is going to really impact it, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to take some sand and we're going to build these in this little sandy grove because I don't really know what else to build here. But we will at least have one large dark oak, and we'll plop one over here and one over here. And then we'll go back over this way. And let's just add another one in here. That one should be good. There's a bare spot here. We can add one. And over here, we'll add a couple more. Do regular oak trees get big like a dark oak tree does? I don't know. We'll find out. You know, I was going to start a stopwatch to see how long these episodes kind of last. And I know they've been kind of all over the place with, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, almost an hour. But I think for this one, we're just going to kind of wing it, do 2 or 3 night cycles, do some general upkeep. I think right now what we're going to do is I'm probably going to do a small bit of research. A little bit of research and development really fast.
Found a block I don't recognize, scratching my head, squinting my eyes. Is it a mob? Is it a plan? Guess I'll pause and see what I can. Just ponder it, thumbing through a wiki page. Every update's got a brand new stage. Half these blocks weren't even here before. Give me a second, I'll go check the lore. No shame in asking, no shame in the search. Even a wanderer's gotta do his research. The world keeps growing bigger every day. Can't know it all.
Okay. Thank you for everybody for understanding the small intermission there. I think what we're going to have to do is we have to add logs via a right-click motion. So we're going to run back and grab all the logs, or at least a handful of logs. We'll probably grab some other woods as well. So we're going to need logs and planks. Like those are just the 2 given, I'm assuming. But we all know what assuming does. And then I'm going to come back over here and right click. Okay, so we need 10 of them total. See, I was right. Then we're going to need planks. And now we'll add planks. So we're going to need 64 planks. I think we have just over a stack, or just over half a stack, or just about half a stack. Okay. So now we know that all we're going to need is at least 36 more planks, because we had 31, so we'll get up to our full stack. Let's see. Okay, so now we're going to need iron nuggets. We do have iron nuggets. Hopefully, I wish we knew how many iron nuggets we would need initially. Has anybody out there used the Shippy Ship mod before? If so, feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on it. And if anybody wants to know which mods I'm currently running, I can probably do a video about that, or maybe even drop a link to my my mod pack. I'm not really sure how the sharing of mod packs work, but I think we'll figure it out. Wool. How much wool are we gonna need? I think there's gonna be a lot of running back and forth and probably a lot of acquisition of materials. Because I know we have black wool, so we might as well use the black wool that we have, but I thought we had some white wool. I'm not sure what we did with the white wool. Hopefully we can use more than one color of wool, because I don't know if we're going to be lucky enough to be able to run around and find 15 or 14 more black sheep. But it looks like this is going to bring us to our first adventure we will grab the shears momentarily. I think I know where we put our wool. We'll grab our shears. I thought we would put some wool in here, but that's a-okay. We're going to grab the shears, and now we need our rowboat. We've got the majority of our equipment that we're going to need for a small excursion. And let's just do a really quick little map reconnaissance of the area. And it looks like up here we have a couple sheep and some cows. There's a sheep here and 2 sheep here. So I believe those, if anybody remembers, I believe it was episode 2 or 3, where we established our boat base. I believe these are the same ones that we ended up shearing for our first night of sleep. So we had our first bed with these sheep up here. There's a cow over there. So far, we've managed to establish most of this without killing any sheep, but we also probably need to gather some actual food. I think we're getting a little tired of just eating a lot of bread and apples. So we'll have to get a hold of some other protein sources. There's some beef around here. We'll probably grab those in another episode though. For right now, we're just gonna make sure that we get as many sheep as we possibly can find. There's another one. And I've been playing on this resource pack or this shader pack for several hours now, and I will admit, it still kind of gets me sometimes with like just the genuine beauty of a pixelated game like Minecraft. It's quite interesting. And it looks like this is going to be another kind of running around and gathering as much resources as possible, or at least the needed resources for the current objective. I'm not even using really like the in-game advancement tree or anything like that. I'm just playing until the vibe feels right. It's just a good way to unwind after an interesting day at work or a long week, and just be able to relax and play Minecraft and share it with you all out there. There's a lot of eggs. Okay, and now back to our boat. We've got 22 white wool and probably a handful of other wools. And the sun is going down, and typically when the sun goes down, nothing good happens after midnight. And I do not want to get blown up by a creeper, or attacked by a zombie, or shot by a skeleton. But we will risk it for the biscuit and grab this little bit of coal. And then we'll jump back in our boat. Head back to our other boat, I guess. It's kind of like boat cubed over here. We're going to take our little boat to our big boat while we're trying to build our big boat. Looks like we can probably harvest our wheat either this episode or next. And there's a zombie. We're going to grab the axe and hit him in the face. And he lit us on fire, so we will stop, drop, and roll. You know what? I needed the string more than anything. I think because I hit his friend, he got mad. I did hear an Enderman poof. I don't like the Enderman poof. I don't like Endermen. I find them not particularly nice. Wax or resin? Interesting. I'm not sure where we're going to find wax or resin. Yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to find wax or resin. But I do believe we will be able to find that most likely at a later date. It did make a big dark oak tree. That's amazing. I think we'll save that for when we need a lot of dark oak wood. We're still waiting on these 2 dark oak trees to grow. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep this arch or if I want to decorate this arch somehow. There's another spider. There's a lot of spiders. The only correlation I can find, and I know, you know, correlation technically isn't causation, but I did plant these dark oak trees and now there's a lot more spiders here. Maybe it's just because there's a lot more trees here, so there's a lot more shade. I'm not a big fan of spiders. Especially large ones that are rather large. But yeah, wax or resin, that's what we're going to need to do next. So I think what we're going to need to do, we'll do a little bit of map reconnaissance while we're kind of doubling up. I mean, I keep saying we're going to do map reconnaissance, but yet we've reconned the same little area. And we kind of already have a clue what's going on here. We've gone up here to this lush cave. We've wandered through this dark forest a little bit. And through this pale forest or pale grove or pale garden. That was still a cool little adventure. But really, I think what we need to do, and I think this is probably just me getting restless, is we definitely need to explore more. But unfortunately, we can't explore more without our larger ship being available. And currently, our larger ship, it needs wax or resin. And so I think what we're going to end up having to do is I do believe that we can find resin in the creaking in a pale garden biome. Okay. So, I don't know how much resin we're going to need for the small ship. But what I do know is that we have our bread. We're going to eat some bread so we can sprint faster. And we have our boat, and now we actually have a reason to go back to the Pale Garden. I knew there was a good reason that we at least like investigated it and had a little just like intro to running around the Pale Garden. So we need to find the creaking. I don't know what the creaking looks like. I will be honest with you all. I just Googled that. I didn't Google what the creaking looks like. I just Googled where to find resin. So now I'm going to do some investigating. And we're going to go up here to this Pale Garden and we're going to investigate to see if we can find some. There's a lot of copper down there. Okay, so I did notice this. There's another Pale Garden up here. So if we can't find it here, we'll probably move up to here and see what's going on over there. back in the we're back in the dark forest. Probably would be also a good time to get some more dark oak while we're here. I'm going to go uphill and work our way downhill. I think that just makes more sense for trying to find what we're looking for. We're not quite in the Pale Garden yet. We're on the very edge of it, but I do want to go to the highest point of the Pale Garden and work my way down. So this is now going to be the Pale Garden. I don't exactly know what I'm looking for. I know I could Google it, but I think we need to investigate first prior to Googling. I don't see anything that looks out of place. All these trees look fairly normal, or I guess as normal as pale oak would look. We are going to take one because I think it would be kind of cool to have a pale oak boat eventually. We're going to take the saplings, as well as all of this wood. There's a lot of wood in these. Let's see, we don't need the spider eye. So we'll make sure that we drop the spider eye so we can pick up all of this equipment, or all of this wood. And now we'll see. Now we'll see what's going on. Let's see. I don't see anything super out here. Is that just a regular flower? It is just a regular flower. Those are kind of cool. I think we'll build a flower garden in our next base. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that looks like a creaking. Okay, so the creaking is a mob. Interesting. Interesting. So it can only be, okay, so this is a nighttime thing. And I'm not a big fan of the forest at night, let alone the pale forest, which is already kind of ominous. So I think what we're going to do is I have now done a little bit of area beautification of the pale forest by taking out a tree that definitely needed, yeah, it was 100% needed to go just so we could get some more resources. And now we have a little bit of a better understanding of what's going on in the pale forest. Yeah, I think those are the drowned. I think they're throwing things at me. It's not very nice of them to throw things at me. But now we know that if we're going to do this in the daytime without, like, getting clobbered by whatever the creaking is, because I just Googled a picture of it. Now, I'm not a big fan of it. It looks kind of something I wouldn't really want to run into at night in a pale garden. But other than that, we're going to move our way back down to our base, and then we are going to probably just be back in time for a night cycle. I really should probably put some form... That's a lot of clay. I should probably put some form of dock or something in this area as well. I do have some torches on us. That's what we'll do. I've got 3 planks. And I like this spot the best. So we'll go plank, plank, and plank. And then I'll put 2 torches here. So this is kind of where we know to get in and out of the water. That way we don't overshoot our base. Well, if you've managed to make it this far, I would like to just say I definitely appreciate it, and thank you again for your views. It's very nice to have some people out there that are sharing the same adventures that I enjoy sharing. And I know we ended a video on this little hilltop, but oh look, there's our cat. He's hanging out in the window. We've ended our adventures on this hilltop a couple of times, but I figured with the moon rising in the background and our new boat and this wooden arch that we still need to decorate, and Mr. No Name Cat hanging out in the window, I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever time of day that you're watching, and that you enjoy the adventure. So from the Lukewarm Wanderer and the currently unnamed cat, thank you very much.